Yo, what's up? It's me, Tim Keys. And since everybody else is talking about it, I figured I would come on here and talk about Ableton's new device, the Move. Now, you know, it's no secret that standalone has kind of been the wave for the past like couple years now. And not that it has gone anywhere, but you've definitely seen like an increase in the interest of standalone based instruments since 2020. And in my opinion, I believe part of that is due to the popularity of the MPC. Not to take away from other devices like Sheesh, I think it's the Electron and some of those other sequencers, but definitely like the MPC, just in terms of what it can do as a like a groove box, and then like the MC 707s and the new machines. And yeah, standalone has just been the popular wave, and in my opinion, it seems like Ableton is moving in that direction. Not that it didn't already make the attempt with the Push 3, right? But this new device, the Move, seems to be geared more towards like your budget conscious musician. And so yeah, in my opinion, I look at this device and I, like anything else, it all depends on what you want to do and what you already have in your collection to make music. And so like, yeah, of course it's standalone. You get 4 hours of playtime without having to charge it up. Four tracks. Four tracks isn't, I don't know. I feel like they could have did more tracks, but four tracks isn't bad. And you get like what they say here, the drum mode, melody mode, or sampler. And you get session mode. And again, this has integration with Ableton software. And I think it comes with Ableton Intro. So that's not bad. Let's see. Quickly create a series of repeating notes. Here's the part that I'm looking at that I think may be useful. We got to keep in mind, like, yeah, you only get a limited amount of tracks, but it comes with three Ableton based instruments that are included in standalone and are, in this case, portable. You get the drum sampler, wavetable, drift, and a melodic sampler, whatever that means. So the drum sampler is cool. Wavetable, wavetable, in my opinion, for Ableton was pretty decent. I remember like when it first came out back at the end of like 2017 with Ableton 10, and it was like quite the addition to like the instruments that came included with Ableton. Only caveat was you had to have the Suite Edition. And so you kind of get that in this device for about 450 bucks. You also get Drift. And so, again, and Drift is like a virtual analog synth that's like not Wave, Ableton stock instrument. So if you look at it from the standpoint that you're getting a drum sampler, a portable wavetable synth, a virtual analog synth, and a melodic sampler, which basically is like sample based synthesis, I'm assuming for this last part. That's pretty good for like what you get in this $450 device. You get the reverb, you get a delay, you get a saturator, ensemble effect, phaser, flanger, redux, EQ, and a compressor, all built in one unit. How good they sound? I mean, I haven't tried it. I haven't really listened to any or watched the stuff. I've just been hearing about the specs. But I think overall for what you're getting, and like, all right, you got built-in Wi-Fi, you get 64 gigs of internal storage, and you get a built-in microphone and speaker. So like that in and of itself, like the MPC doesn't come with a built-in microphone. That would be nice. The machine doesn't come in with a built-in microphone. Neither does I think it's is it the Electron? Digitac Electron, the sampling version. I'm sorry if I got my stuff wrong, but like I don't think that has a built-in microphone. I could be mistaken, and I could be saying the whole like instrument wrong, but either way, I don't think that has it either. And if I'm not mistaken, let's just look. Uh, Electron drum computer sampler. All right. Do 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 do. Let's see, what does it have on the website? Not supposed to be doing this part. I initially was not going to be on here, doing all of the stuff. But let's do some specifications and compare. I don't want to tell you where I'm from. I'm from America. That's where I'm from. All right, so features. If we're looking at Digitact Electron Part 2, you get the one shot warp, aka warp, stretch, repitch, grid. You get some filters, 16 stereo or mono audio tracks with, some MIDI tracks or MIDI tracks, either or. Let's see. 1-bit digital reduction, blase blase splee, 400 megabytes of sample memory, 20 gigabytes of drive storage, diverse sample library, whatever that means, 4-note polyphony per step, performance features, song mode. Euclidean sequence generator per track, super void reverb. So, that's just one, the Digitact. I don't think it's bad. Because you're going to pay, like if you get the Digitact 2 brand new, you're going to pay $1,000. You're paying $450 for this. And, look at this little price at the bottom of the screen right here. $37.49 for 12 months. So if you are a musician on a budget, you can spread those payments out over time. And by the end of the year, after you've paid, roughly $40 a month for the whole year with tax included, give or take, you got a whole instrument that's yours to keep and play with. Now, let me see something else real quick. I know I'm supposed to be Novation. Is it circuit? Let's see. Now, this might be like the competition. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's see. Circuit rhythm. Because they both have a similar build. Similar, not quite. They're a little different. But, all right, sample and resample. Record samples directly to the hardware, then slice, sculpt, and resample, slice, reverse loop, and play chromatically. I just want to get to the specs. I don't care about none of this stuff. It means absolutely nothing. But, because I don't know the specs on this, I get this one confused with the other one, and I'm starting to ramble. But the point is like, all right, so this is probably more comparable to the Move, the mini push. And for the price point, $400, it's a little bit cheaper. I want to see what you get though. Like, can I see what you get? They don't show the specs. So I don't know what the overall difference between the two, other than what's listed here. You get the different ways of manipulating samples and things like that. I don't know if it has a microphone built in. Definitely don't know if it has a wavetable built in. I know none of that. But I do know that it's also at a decent price point. You can probably get this used for, a couple dollars cheaper. But besides that, I don't think this is a bad device. It's clearly not meant to be like your be all end all per se in terms of like from start to finish, making your beats or whatnot. But it certainly looks like it's a good sketch pad. You get the 4 tracks. Again, like the 4 tracks will probably be, limiting. 8 tracks would be nicer, but hey, it's not my machine. The 64 gigs of internal storage are pretty good. The built-in microphone line input sample directly. That part is cool because you don't need anything. You could just talk into the machine and just kind of like get to work and sample. And so that's nice. Um, and you can kind of like put some basic beats together depending on how you construct things. I don't think it's bad. And again, this little payment piece right here where you could just stretch your payment out for over, 12 months for that $40 mark. I have no complaints. Would I buy it right off the rip? No. Would I try to catch it on a sale? Yeah, I would try to catch it on a sale. Or would I try to get it used, let somebody else play with it for a while and, you know, come back and complain about how much they hated it or it just wasn't for them? Yeah, absolutely. Pick it up, use, get you a couple of dollars knocked off, and now you got something that you can travel with. Yeah, so like that's my 2 cents. Um, Other than that, it's like, all right, here's another portable device that we can add to like the fray of standalone instruments because we're I don't know, we low key want to get back into hardware but not really get back into hardware. I do appreciate the that hybrid setup where you can kind of do something independently, but then at the same time you can you know hook it up to your computer and integrate and have like an almost nice integrated feel. The screen is small in the corner, like that piece right there. It's not really gonna work. But you know, I've played with small screens from Novation, so I'm really not tripping. That's just my hot take. I don't have a whole lot to say. You either you do it and get it or you don't. All right, cool. I'm 12 minutes and 30 seconds. So yeah, man, that's it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the move. Do you think it's worth the money? Do you think you're better served going with a different instrument? Um, yeah, man. I'm Tim Keys. I'm out. Peace. April Fools. I keep hitting the wrong